I deal with my opponents a little bit like I handle my love life. I make sure I leave a lasting impression. I don't care what kind of shape you're in. I'm going to knock your teeth back out the other side of your head. You understand that? Because it's the best thing going today. Let's go, Buffalo.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. 27-21. Another ugly win for the Buffalo Bills. And next to me is my main man, Mr. Mikey. Mikey, I'm under the weather. Sorry for my voice, but this is what you get. Kind of like what we saw today. It's kind of what you get, but we got the job done ultimately at the end of the day. Got the dub. It started off great on defense. Defense, kind of went away from what they were doing early on a little bit. I felt like McDermott was getting a little too blitz happy, and the Patriots, they adjusted, and McDermott did not. Kind of let the Patriots sneak back into that game, and the offense was a no-show pretty much all game. I got to be honest with you. That was bad. That was really, really bad. It's 2 weeks in a row.
It was
the offense.
It was it was very situational, because we moved the ball in the second half. It was just we kept starting inside our own 20 because of just dumb things by us. Trying to bring it out, get a holding call. Try to bring it out, get tackled short. And then we would get them out midfield, and we would be on a 3rd and 1, and we try to hand it off to Murray rather than using Allen. It was just stupid shit over and over. No sense.
Playing backyard football again on offense, guys. It just seems like there's nothing set up. There's no play design out there at times. It seems like Allen's running for his life, and guys aren't getting separation either. Sherfield is turned out to be one of the worst signings we did in the offseason. He's dropping everything now. Anything that's thrown his way, he drops. He's doing nothing offensively. I don't even know why. Like, honestly, Mikey, at this point, bring up Isabella or bring up Shorter. What do you got to lose? Sherfield's doing nothing. He's not contributing to anything at this point.
Just special teams. But you're telling
even
me
that,
Shorter can't do special teams?
Exactly. So at this point, it's kind of a waste of space on the offensive side of things. But yeah, if it wasn't for the defense today, we'd probably lose that game. I'm going to be honest with you. Just how many turnovers did we get, and we only got 3 points off them? I mean,
there was 4 turnovers. There was 4 turnovers, and we got 13 points.
Yeah, one of them by defense. I'm talking about the offense.
Oh yeah, okay. Then if we look at it that way, there was 20 points off of turnovers. I was talking about offensively. We had 13 points off of turnovers. Off the 3 that we got. The 4th one was the defensive touchdown, which ultimately won the game for us.
Absolutely. And not to mention they missed field goals as well. That could have helped them in this game for the Patriots. Their kicker's so bad, and I don't know why Bill Belichick kept trying those long kicks with him. But at the end of the day, like I said, we got the W. But we can't continue playing like this, Mikey. We can't. We're going to be playing some tough teams heading into the playoffs, and if we play like this, we'll be bounced out real quick. We got a big game coming up next week. I would say the main thing that's concerning me right now is Josh Allen. He got dinged up there at the end. He called himself out of the game very fast.
Yeah, for the kneel downs. Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, he called himself out quick. He knew that. Let's just hope it's a stinger, but it's never good. It's the same shoulder.
It was his left shoulder.
It's a different shoulder.
Okay. Different is his left. It wasn't his throwing shoulder. They were working on the sidelines, and then he was walking off the field. He seemed okay.
Well,
here's the thing, Callie. We are a playoff team. Did we look great today? Absolutely not offensively. But you also have to remember, this is Bill Belichick's defense, who has played really well and kept them in games all year long. It's a really good defense. The first half was horrible. Josh was 5 of 15 in the first half. He was 10 for 15 in the second half.
Yeah.
It was a much better second half than it was the first half.
Yeah. Yep.
Really, our problem lies with our offensive line. It's been getting bullied the last few weeks, and that's and until we can give Josh, like I was watching a little bit of the Lamar highlights. Dude, he was standing in the clean pocket all day.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with their offensive line. It's and today their run blocking was terrible. Now I will say this: New England's Patriots, their run defense is I think is number 1 in the league. So I kind of understood that, but man, it's like this offensive line cannot give time for Allen, and he's just back there backpedaling. It seems like every snap he's backpedaling and throwing off his back foot. You're not gonna win games like that. Offensive line has to be better, and it's really the pass protection has been bad.
And sorry to cut you off, but here's the thing:
go ahead.
If you can't block it up with a 5-man pressure, put other guys back there. Leave your running back in the block.
Right? Yeah, but that's Joe Brady though. That's what I meant about him and his in-game adjustments haven't been too good. I got to be honest with you. I like Joe Brady. I like what he's done since he's become OC. But I notice when defenses adjust to what we're doing, or it's just not going as planned, he doesn't really adjust well, and he keeps going with the same play calling. No help for Josh Allen, like you said. No running back in the backfield, no tight end in the backfield to kind of help block, and he's leaving Allen to hang, man, and you can't do that. And by the way, no separation from the receivers is not helping either.
And Jarrett calls it here. He says, this is what happens when you ignore getting skill position players for years. When you're relying on 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round draft picks to be your top skill position guys. You go out and you try to spend some money and get a Hardy, but he's been a flat bust.
Yeah.
That's a problem. I was at a network, got to watch the Finns get squashed. Sorry. I'm happy from my seats. 56-19 Ravens. One more. Yeah. Listen.
Damn, was that the final score? Woo, they got smoked. Yeah, that was the final score. It's
56-19. Tua had a few turnovers. Could be a mild contusion or an AC joint sprain. Yeah, well, I mean, he seemed to be okay when he was walking off the field. Like there was nobody with him. My sphincter sore. Yeah, it was. Listen, me and Tommy were like, at no point did I think we were going to lose the game. But I'm this is way too freaking close.
Yeah, I never felt like we were going to lose the game. Even last week, I didn't feel like we were going to lose the game. But
lost Chubb. Ouch. Miami lost.
Oh, did they lose? Oh no, that hurts. And they just did like a special on him pregame before the game. They were talking to Bradley Chubb. So. Man, I hate seeing that, but it's part of the game, man.
Roy, you call it. Smiley needs I wish they'd let him go now. He's the worst special teams coach.
Terrible. Having our guys return it. Ty Johnson return it. Getting out of the end zone. Take the 25. Mm-hmm. He's getting tackled well before the 25. We're getting penalties called.
Yeah, you give up a kick return to open the game. Like, come on. You got to be better than that.
I'll be right back.
Yep. Congratulations from the Philippines. Joe Brady, 1-0 at the end of the day. Punters the MVP. Yeah, Sam Martin was fantastic today, which helped. Douglas the MVP. Oh, Douglas was a stud all day. Thank God for Douglas. Our offense has been really off the last few games. What's happening to our passing game? The receivers aren't getting any separation at all. That's what's happening to our passing game, and we're not scheming. Like where Josh is looking, he's trying to get Diggs involved. He's trying to get Davis involved. And really, the guy we should be featuring is Shakir because he's the only one getting separation at all.
Yeah.
Earlier in the game, we were trying to go to Diggs and we were trying to go to Davis when Shakir was running over the middle all by himself. We need to stop trying to go to those two guys and tell Josh, check for Shakir because he seems to be the one that's getting separation, and then go to your other guys.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, our line was really bad today. It was bad last week too. That's the scary part. We'll see. We normally play well against the Dolphins, but we'll see. If our offensive line plays like it has the last few weeks, we're in trouble. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Miami's not worried about us. Put it that way. I'm not saying we're worried about Miami either. We've played Miami. We know what they're about, but this offense has to pick it up. Here's the problem. Our defense starts off pretty good in these games, and they start to wear down as the offense continues to get 3 and outs, and then the defense is on the field a long time, and then they start to wear down, and then the game starts to get closer and closer and closer. And against better teams like Miami, you can't play like that. You can't leave the defense on the field that long and expect them to get. I mean, McDermott in his halftime talk, we got to get more turnovers. What the fuck? What are you talking about, dude? We had 4. That's what's gonna. How about the offense needs to fucking do their job? More turnovers, like, dude, we had 4. Like, you want more? Right. Of course, well, obviously we want more, but how about the offense? You should have came out and said, bro, defense is doing their job. Turnovers are great. We need to continue, whatever. But the offense really has to pick it up. I mean, it's like, I don't understand his philosophy, what he's thinking a lot of the time, bro. It drives me insane, man.
I texted you this during the game. Third and 1, and you go with Murray rather than the quarterback sneak. With the quarterback sneak's been working all day long. Then you're at midfield, 4th and 1, and you don't quarterback sneak it. You punt it away and trust your defense, and they walk right down the field and score a touchdown.
Right.
He always trusts the defense first.
Yeah, and it backfires a lot of the time, man.
It does. Now, it did today. Yeah. It didn't today.
It did today, yeah.
Ultimately we held on to win. The defense came up, got the stop they needed, and then the offense closed it out like they should. But, it was a Josh Allen run around and make plays.
Yeah, it's backyard football. That's all it is, man. And hope for the best. And we cannot sustain. We can't sustain like that. We can't continue to play that type of football and get away with it. It's just not going to work, man. I don't know. Like I said, I'm happy for the win, but at the end of the day, we have some real problems on the offensive side of the ball again, and I hate to say it. I appreciate what Joe Brady's done so far, but he has to also learn how to adjust. Josh Allen also is to blame a little bit in this game. He was off today, guys. I get the pressure was there, but passes were behind and short and over their heads. The interception was just a bad thrown ball. Like, dude, you don't need to do that. Throw it away.
Listen, the guy made a nice play on the ball.
He did.
He baited him when he took off with the safety. Normally, that's a one-on-one ball, and first off, it was underthrown.
He gets baited a lot. Right.
It was a nice play by the corner.
Absolutely. But he gets baited too much then. Way too many interceptions for Josh Allen this year. It's like you can almost count on 1 to 2, 1 a game. Yeah, 1 to 2 a game. It's you can't do that. And there was no reason for that.
You take the good with the bad with Josh. It's every game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is what it is. It's the sad part is Josh was just short on everything today. It was like he wasn't overthrowing guys; he was underthrowing guys all day long.
Oh, big time, behind, underthrown.
Yep. And most of it was he couldn't step into things. But even when he stepped into things, he was still like low, and
Yeah, it was odd.
It was odd. Almost like honestly, it almost looked like his shoulder wasn't loose. Is what it looked like.
Man. Yeah, he's not. I'm telling you, Diggs is not right either.
No,
Diggs just doesn't. Diggs doesn't.
He wasn't even out there that first drive in the second when we went down and scored. Diggs didn't play one play of that drive.
He doesn't. I'm telling you, something's wrong with Diggs, man. Either he's dealing with something or he's just not. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain when it comes to Diggs because I'm so used to Diggs creating separation. That's what he's known for.
And he's not.
He's having a really tough time getting open. And, of course, we want to throw to him, but if he's not open, you can't force it either. And then, of course, it doesn't help when the rest of the receivers are no-shows, except for, I would say, not Trent Sherfield, Shakir. He was a show today. He showed up today. But Gabe Davis, for the most part, what did he have? I mean, a couple catches, one catch. Let's see what he had today.
Hooked up Joe. I'm sorry, brother. That's
Two receptions.
Yeah. I know By Stock said, Josh has been, throwing. Here's the problem. It's hard to throw when you're always backpedaling. He constantly has pressure in his face, and that's part of the problem. Is they need to figure out to do something on the interior. Our guards are getting their ass whooped week in and week out right now.
Yeah.
And we get Wilkins next week. Granted, they did just lose Chubb and hooked up Joe. I'm sorry. That sucks. Insult to injury on that one. After taking a beating and then you lose your other edge rusher.
It's brutal.
That is brutal.
He's having a good season too.
But Diggs is playing like half the snaps. He's under 50 yards again. It's there's something going on. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Josh interceptions are the same as it is on the sideline and underthrown. Because Josh's interceptions mirror each other. Yeah. They went for a shot play. Because here's what happens when Josh those type of interceptions happen. We start to drive, there's a big drop or a holding call or something, right. And Josh is pressing, trying to make up for it. So he chucks one up, hoping to get something down the field. The guy took off with the post that should have been a one-on-one coverage. The guy made a nice play, knowing Josh's tendency to throw that. He circled back, picked it off. It was underthrown, but the read wasn't incorrect. It was just a bad throw.
Yep. I want to get to some of these stats real quick. Allen, 15 of 30, 169 with a rating of 53.3. It's a bad game for Josh Allen. One interception. James Cook, 16 carries, 48 yards, averaging 3 yards per carry. Not a good game. Josh Allen did run the ball well, 11 carries, 44 yards for average, 2 touchdowns. I thought Ty Johnson did better today than James Cook. I felt like he should have got a little bit more carries, Mikey. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he was running a little bit harder, between the tackle. Yeah. I thought he should have.
Didn't you see him flexing his hand every time he ran?
Oh, did he? Well, then they should have.
Fournette up.
Then they should have had Fournette instead of, But either way, I thought he ran well, 4.4 average. I mean,
he's better in between the tackles. I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. Kincaid, 4 receptions, 87 yards. He had that long, a 51. We need to get him more involved in the offense. Khalil Shakir, 4 receptions, 39 yards, 9.8. And then Stephon Diggs, another bad game, really. 4 receptions, 26 yards. Gabe Davis, no show. 2 receptions, 21 yards. James Cook, 1 reception, negative, 4 yards. What happened to throwing to the running backs? We went away from that again. It worked so well in the Dallas game. And now, once again, we're just going away from it. Everything, no more going to the running backs. I don't get it. And then as far as defense goes, we had a really good game. Terrell Bernard, 2 sacks. I think he had a fumble recovery, I believe, as well. But total, we had 3 sacks. I mean, we were getting to him. Ed Oliver had another sack. Quarterback hits, we were getting to him. I will say this, though. And the interception was Rasul Douglas, who's been playing so good.
Yeah,
two of them, yeah. So, really, really good game, by the defense for the most part. The only thing I could say is I felt like McDermott was going to the well too many times as far as bringing the blitz. I felt like he needed to back up a little bit at times. He was getting too happy. If you do that against like a team like the Dolphins, they'll rip you apart.
Well, here's the thing: it wasn't that he got too happy. It was when the guys got there, they didn't bring him down, and they left rush lanes. They weren't sound, and they let him get outside and make plays, and that's what hurt us.
Yeah, we weren't getting to him. Yeah, I agree.
The question was, do you think Brady's getting predictable? I don't think Brady's getting predictable. I think part of the problem is the guy he's calling plays and the guys aren't executing.
I thought down the stretch it was a little predictable. I will say that I don't think the whole game was predictable. but I do think down the stretch it got a little predictable. I think it also got a little conservative.
It got real conservative in the second half.
Yeah, and except for the opening drive, where we scored the touchdown, that was good. I think it was the opening drive, right? Is where we scored the touchdown?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But after that, it was all predictable. It was just get out there with the win, I felt like, and maybe that has to do with McDermott as well. Fourth quarter was super predictable. Once again, though, I really feel like we're watching backyard football, man. Nothing is easy anymore now. Like, we're back to this Ken Dorsey type of offense where we're just going through the motions. Nothing is being set up properly. Nothing's coming, easily for this offense. And really, too, since Dawson Knox has returned, I don't understand why. But and I'm not going to totally blame him, but it's odd that he returned and our offense has gone to shit. It really has. So
we went away from the 11 personnel and went back to 12 personnel.
I don't. It's tough to watch at times, guys. But once again, we're not here to just talk about the bad. We got the dub. We're playing next weekend for the AFC East title. I mean, who thought when we were 6-6 that we would be here today talking about potentially winning the AFC East? I don't think anybody, including myself, the way we were playing football. So I will give them props for coming back, for fighting and to getting to this point. Mm-hmm. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned because we're going to make the playoffs, guys. And I'm concerned about when we start playing the big dogs, how we will respond. Because right now, going against, lower competition, we have not responded well. We have not played well.
We play better against the better teams.
We need to get back. Yeah, but that, you know how that is. I mean, we just said we have to get our act together. We can't keep going through the motions like this. It's one and done, right? You lose the game in the playoffs, there is no next week.
Yep.
So you got to get better.
Survive in advance.
Yeah, but like I said,
have to be pretty.
I give them credit for getting to this point, though. You got to give McDermott, you got to give the rest of the coaching staff and the players their dues for bouncing back when a lot of us, including myself, were almost writing them off or very close to writing them off. Some people did write them off. It's not easy to do, but things have to change, man. We need to change things in the next 2 weeks. I mean, these are just facts.
By stocks, we did throw some underneath stuff, and they dropped them. We had 4 drops again today.
Murray dropped the first down pass. Yep. It was right in his hands, guys.
Like, it's easy for us to sit on the sidelines and say, you should do this and you should do that, but the guys just aren't executing. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
Execution.
It's
Absolutely.
not happening.
Separation, right?
Yeah, the line's not executing blocking correctly.
Right.
The receivers aren't executing their routes properly to get separation, and they're not securing the ball. Josh isn't throwing the ball to him correctly. I mean, it's top to bottom. Offense
turnovers. You name it. Like like Mikey's right. Execution. It's just like we're just shooting ourselves in the foot every game.
Over and over and over.
Over and over and over and over. And you can't do that. Like things got to get better. Special teams, my God. 7-0 right off the bat, Mikey. It's craziness. What are we doing out there? Fire Smiley. This guy's terrible. They're not going to do it now, but I hope to God we don't see him next season. He's done a terrible job.
Terrible.
All year. Awful.
He's cost us games this year.
Yes.
And he's still on the staff because McDermott wants to be the defensive coordinator. He has Smiley running game day operations for him, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
It is.
I'd rather the Bills just get in the dance, man. I don't want to. Listen, at the end of the day, we won 3 AFC East titles. What has it gotten us? Nothing. So if the Dolphins win the AFC East, who gives a fuck? It means nothing, right? They can be happy they won the East, but like I said, we won the East 3 years in a row, and we got booted out of the playoffs. So we need to get to the dance, and we need to play better. That's it. And once we're in the playoffs, let's hope that we play the right way. That's all.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Roy, I wouldn't go there. The drought era offense, I'm not going there.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. It's
That's
not that.
That's an overreaction. We did just win a game. Let's not.
Yeah,
overreact.
against the listen, and I said it over and over and over. Whenever you're going against a Bill Belichick coach team, which has been the Patriots, you're gonna be in a dogfight 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Very rare does this team go against any team, doesn't matter what their record is, and just gets blown out the door. They're always going to be prepared. That's why Bill Belichick's one of the greatest coaches ever, right? That's what coaches do. They prepare. They have their guys prepared no matter who's out, no matter who they got playing. He gets players you never heard of to play good. I mean, that's what they do. But of course, we were the better team. We had better players altogether. But that's what I mean about coaching, Mikey. Look at the difference, between, Belichick and him. We almost lost to the Patriots, who were down to like a third string quarterback.
By him.
No offense, really. Let's be real. They were missing pieces all over the board. And we almost lost again, because that's what coaching does. Coaching has a team prepared. And sometimes that's why I fear this team with McDermott, man. I don't know. It's crazy news to me. But either way, it's an AFC East team. When we play division games, they're always going to be, for the most part, tough games, guys.
Yeah, Dallas, you're not wrong. And that goes back to scheme.
Yeah.
A lot of what the Ravens do is under center, so there's a lot of run action there. We're in the early stages of this new offensive rebuild with the new offensive line, and we're going to be getting new receivers. It's not going to be pretty all the time. At the end of the day, it's survive and advance, guys, and that's what we did today. We won 27-21.
Yep.
We have a chance for the division next week. 6 weeks ago, I wasn't sure we were going to win a game again. And here we are. We're going to be playing Miami for the East. So,
yeah.
I can sit here and be pissy about this, or I can say, you know what? We won.
Yeah. What's up, Miles? No, I'm sick, Miles. So, listen, we're happy with the dub, but I'm under the weather. So that's why maybe I seem a little bit more down because I'm usually a little bit more up when we talk Buffalo Bills football, but I'm just under the weather for the last 2 days. But listen, I'm happy. I just went on talking about 10 minutes about what this team has done, accomplished, from going to 6-6 to potentially making the playoffs and winning the AFC East. So I'm happy for them, and like I said, we just want to see a better. We need to see some kind of change before the playoffs start. We got one more week to do it, to play our best football, go into the playoffs, on a good note, right? Not going into the playoffs where we're just barely winning a game. Our offense still struggling. Like, I would love for us to go to Miami, Mikey, and get our act together offensively, right? And get a W, go into the playoffs, feeling good, right?
At the number 2 seed.
As a number 2 seed, absolutely. So
how crazy is that? Regardless of what we do, we have a chance for the 2 seed next week.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It is crazy.
Listen, guys, don't read too much into this. Belichick does a really good job of taking away your what you like to do best. They always has a really good defense. He knows Allen the best. Listen, has it been great 2 weeks? No, but at the end of the day, we've gotten W's. And we'll see what happens next week and see where the chips fall.
By the way, if Tim Settle's in here watching, I thought you did a pretty good job today defensively. I thought you were around the quarterback. You were putting good pressure.
I thought Settle played really well.
Yeah,
today.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I thought your run defense was good. Getting to the pressure was good. So if you're in here,
and he got held a couple times, and they didn't call it.
I want to give you your props.
We crap on Tim Settle a lot, but when he does well, we need to give him his flowers. As well.
Exactly.
So, all right, Tommy. I didn't want this to run long. We're about 30 minutes in. You're feeling like crap. Will we be doing Monday? Because Monday's New Year. Will we be doing
No.
So we'll be back for Friday's show.
Yeah.
to preview the AFC East Division Championship weekend. Winner takes
it's gonna
all.
gonna be curious where they put that game.
I'm guessing, just my guess, probably Sunday night.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised to see.
It would be a huge mistake if NBC didn't do that. Ratings alone are going to be through the roof. We're talking about big money.
Well, it's not that,
night.
but it's for the 2 seed.
No, I know. I'm just saying though, ratings through the roof because of everything that won the AFC East to the 2 seed, 2 powerhouse. I mean, let's be real. We've been playing bad, but we're still 2 very good teams going head to head. Division rivals like this is a huge game, man. So it would be a huge mistake if they didn't put it on Sunday night or Monday Night Football.
Nah, it's not you, Triggs. We've been talking about that for weeks.
Oh, absolutely.
Knox come back,
it's stalled out.
Stalled out.
It's
They
absolutely.
tried to use that fucking 12 personnel.
And it's not even like Knox is part of the offense. Like he's done nothing either. I got to be real with you. Knox is starting to become a big waste of money. He's starting to become a player that we're paying that is underperforming 2 straight seasons in a row. And man, it sucks. I can't stand that because I like the guy, but there's nothing worse than overpaying and not at least not getting something back for it. You know what I mean?
I don't even mind the overpay. And it's not even his fault. It's the coach's fault for not sticking to what they normally do. With them coming back, they're like, okay, we're going to force feed him into this offense. The offense was running fine with 11 personnel and Kincaid is tight end 1.
Right.
Why are you forced,
I don't know.
He's becoming a block that is causing a lot of issues.
I think they need to figure out what they're going to do with him in the offseason. I got to be real with you. You can't keep going on like with that. It's not working. I think Kincaid is the future at tight end. I think everybody knows that. Everybody sees that. You just got to figure out the contract. And by the way, no Von Miller today. I thought we played very well. I thought, everybody stepped up to the plate for the most part on defense. Kingsley Jonathan
had some good plays.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest. I thought Shaq Lawson was just took the Von Miller role and he was just out there to be out there.
He didn't. He had one pressure. He had one pressure, but
if you want to sit Shaq and bring up Vaughn, I don't give a crap because neither one of them were doing stuff. AJ, you could tell he was coming back off of an injury.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who looked really good was Daquan.
Daquan did look good. Absolutely.
Daquan looked good for his first game back. I was excited. Yeah. And him and Ed ran some of those twist stunts together. And man, I'm so happy. I want to see Daquan
play well.
Lindell Joseph together. That's what
I'm surprised that Joseph was benched today, inactive. I'm really surprised.
They want to give Puna more run, and Puna didn't do much.
No, he was quiet today.
Like honestly, I think Puna goes back to the bench, and Lindell gets.
Maybe they might have been testing the waters this week with Puna. I agree with you. I think Joseph might play next week versus Dolphins.
He should. Honestly, he's our second best one tech behind Daquan.
Yeah, I think the real thing for me this week coming up for the Bills, they got decisions to make with Sherfield. In my opinion, I really feel like they need to really consider bringing up, like I said, Isabella or Shorter. It can't hurt. It really can't. At this point, I think they have to at least take in consideration that see how practice goes this week because Sherfield is he's not doing anything productive on offense. So I hope they think about that. I also hope to see Fournette in there instead of Murray. And I like Murray, but Murray now he's dropping passes. He's not even getting the short yardage runs anymore. He's not even pass protecting that well. I've seen him get blown up a few times. So maybe he is starting to wear down a little bit. Maybe benching him for at least a game, bring him back in the playoffs. That's not a bad thing. Bring Fournette for the Dolphins game up.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be for Murray. I have a feeling it's going to be for Johnson because Johnson's shoulder, like every time he ran, he's flexing his hand.
And shit. Yeah,
I have a feeling Johnson's going to sit down. I hope he doesn't because I like him, but I do believe we need to bring up Murray.
It's possible.
Legs. He's also a bigger body. He would have done better than
Absolutely,
because they were packing for the run, and that's not Cook's MO. Cook's not going to be the guy who's going to run through 8-man boxes. That's just not who he is.
No, and I don't like when we do that. By the way, it was very at the end there. I was about to text you. Very predictable.
Super predictable.
When it was like 2 minutes and something, and we kept running the ball with Cook in the middle. They were prepared. They were ready. Cook's not going. He's not pushing anybody forward. He's just not. He's lightweight. Why not put a bigger back there and do that if you're going to do that, or bounce it to the outside instead of running it directly up the middle every time? Like, it made no sense why we kept doing that play over and over, especially with a smaller back, who, by the way, fumbled twice last week doing the same thing. I don't like that play. I hope they go away from that, especially in clutch moments.
Listen, we can sit here and say we want them to do all these different things. They have yet to show us that they're willing to change.
Yeah.
I was surprised with the Vaughn,
yeah, me too.
So,
I was,
especially after all week them talking him up. So
yeah, and he had his interview too. Finally, had his first interview where he talked to media. That was a little odd, but maybe they're getting him ready for the playoffs. Maybe they're getting there. Maybe they thought he needed some rest, because he had that bye week before the Cowboys game and he played well. So. Yeah. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe they shut him down for a reason, and you'll see him out there for the Dolphins game. Just throwing that out there. I will be shocked. Not shocked. I will be surprised if he's not out there for the Dolphins game. In my opinion, I'll be a little surprised.
Jose comes in and says 1 to 10. What's your confidence moving forward? I'd say a 7.
Yeah, it's about
this defense is really good, and the offense is streaky.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't know where you're getting week in, week out. Yeah. I think the defense, for the most part, has been consistent.
Drive in and drive out, because there was 2 drives that were just like beautiful today.
No, you're right. Yeah,
it was clicking, and then there was things that they shot themselves in the foot on. So I very much have a 7. The AFC is so wide open. You know what I mean? This year.
Yeah. No, it is.
It's a matter of just getting in and seeing what happens once you're in.
That's all it's about, guys. I will say this: there's the Ravens are playing really good football right now, and this is the time to play your best football down the stretch. They're going to be a dangerous team. I think Cleveland is playing really good football down the stretch. They're going to be a dangerous team going into the playoffs. I just wish I know the Bills are winning, and that's what counts. But we're not playing good football like all around. Like we're struggling in areas week to week, but
there's different areas week to week. That's the
right. Part. That's what I mean. Right. So it's just like, I just hope when we play Miami, we look better. We get out there with the W. We go into the playoffs on a better note than just sloppy play, squeezing into the playoffs with sloppy play. I need to see something next week, Mikey. And really, I need to see something on offense. I have to see something from the receivers. We cannot win games with the receivers playing the way they're playing. I love this team. Listen, I feel bad coming on here after a W and just, being a little bit down on the team. But it's okay to have concerns, guys, and still be happy with the win. But that's what we do here. We talk about the good and the bad, but they have to be better. And listen, I know they know this. There's no way those players don't realize that, or don't get that they've been playing that, not playing good football, especially on the offensive side of things. They all know they got to be better in order for this team to have a chance. I mean, there's teams right now that are playing their best. I mean, look at Baltimore. Look at the offensive line giving Lamar all that time.
All day, man.
The run game's is good over there. Their defense has stepped up. Like, I just wish we could put it all together, because I feel like we do have the players. Well, I just feel like sometimes we just don't put it all together in a game, man. It sucks.
We still have another week.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm with you, Triggs. Those 4th and 1 situations always seem to jumpstart us when we go for them, and we just didn't all day. McDermott punted the ball away all day long on 4th and 1. He never went for it all day long.
Yeah,
he played conservative all day long.
Super conservative. He just wanted to get out of there with the W. The fact that he didn't want to put the scoreboard up the Dolphins is so cheesy to me. I'm sorry. Fucking dumb. Like, who cares?
Again, this
Who
goes
gives
back
it-
to part of what the article was talking about his inability to
Right.
in crunch time that he.
You don't want them
tightens up.
watching? Why not? What the fuck? Oh, you think if they watch a scoreboard, they're gonna be like, "What? Play bad now? Oh, they're now we can just start ease off a little." Like, dude, grow the fuck up. These are grown men, bro. Put the fucking scoreboard up.
It's just dumb. It's just again back to thinking about shit that doesn't really matter.
Right? It means nothing.
Stupid
Who the
details
fuck
that don't
cares?
matter.
Right? That's a stupid like.
How about we focus on your defense not getting personal fouls and your offense executing.
And isn't it him that says the team doesn't like supposedly know the schedule, the next game ahead anyway?
Yeah.
So why would it fucking matter if the scoreboard's up, dude? Like, who gives two shits? And you think your players are going to actually be totally watching? Like, I just don't. It's like high school level thinking, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's just so dumb, bro.
Okay. Spin comes in and says, I think they sat Fournette. So no, he had 3 call-ups starting last week, so they could have called him up without having to bench him. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh. Oh, I think that's Tim Settle calling Mikey. He's telling him, y'all better start talking nice about me. I'm gonna drive up to your house.
Sorry, it was my dad. He's
okay.
he's in a recovery home. I just want to make sure that he's okay.
Oh, okay.
He just kept calling over and over. I'm like, oh,
no. You're good.
He shattered his leg and his ankle, and he's in one of those recovery homes.
I thought it was Tim Settle. Got your number.
Yeah, got my number. He said, you said something nice about me. Thank you.
You better keep that going.
Yeah, so Murray could have come up regardless. I think they just wanted to go back to what they had, and I think it was a mistake. I really do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Jimbo, I'm not a fan of McDermott. Like, I was for a long time, and I appreciate everything he's done.
Yeah.
I hope he proves me wrong, but I don't see us winning it with him as the coach. He's too conservative in tight situations.
Conservative, predictable.
You know what? There's
defense.
no way he would have done what Campbell did and went 4 on 4th, and 2 point to try to win the game. McDermott would have lost his freaking head. He never would have done that.
Never. Absolutely never. Yeah, I agree.
I don't want to say Allen doesn't go through reads because you see him going through reads. Part of the issue is there's not a ton of time right now. Allen has to get the ball out. He's throwing balls. He threw probably like 4 balls away today, and then dirted a few because there was nobody open and there was pressure on his face.
Yeah, and a lot of times he's scrambling, which makes it really hard to go through your reads when you're like looking, to escape a defender, and you're also paying attention to who's chasing you. So it's not as easy as it sounds. Now, if he had protection and he wasn't going through his reads, then I could agree with that. But the pass protection guys, I don't care what anyone says, and I do have one person that disagrees, but I'm sorry. I think the pass protection over the past month has dwindled down. Has been bad. Has dwindled down. Mm-hmm. It's everybody seems to be being pushed back with ease. It seems like there's like miscues, like Mitch Morse not being in there, not picking up a defender or sliding over, or this
giving
guy
free runners,
giving free runners. It makes no sense, and we're a veteran. There's only one rookie on that line, you know what I mean? Who I could go, okay, you know what? He fucked up. He's a rookie. But man, guys like Mitch Morse, guys like Deion Dawkins should not be making errors like that. Dude, what is going on here? So, gotta fix that shit up, bro.
Jimbo comes in and says Allen doesn't take the easy pass. There hasn't been easy passes. That's part of the problem. We were talking about this earlier. There's also things called reads. You have options 1, 2, 3, 4 in your reads. A lot of times the easy pass right now is Shakir, and he's usually read 3. That's why I said earlier in this program we need to make Shakir read 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Get out to him early because he's the only guy who's getting separation.
He's the only guy right now. I agree.
And our running backs are just doing flares. That's it. And then there's a guy standing there. We threw it,
and we threw it to Cook. He had -4 yards. I mean, it was once again our screen passes to our running backs and receivers are terrible. I mean, we got one good one today to Diggs, who picked up, I believe it was a first down, a critical first down. But other than that, by the way, we still can't do a screen pass, and we can't defend a screen pass. It's been like that for years. I don't get it, guys.
We've never and it definitely hasn't worked since McDermott's got here.
No, we have no screen game.
We used to be really good screen game.
Yes, Shady McCoy, bro, we were excellent at screen game. Now we don't know what we're doing. Whoa, what's a screen pass? Ooh, like nobody's out, can't run them, can't defend them, can't even defend them. We're like totally lost. They get huge chunk yards.
That stupid soft zone. That's why,
dude. If I was an offense coordinator going against the Bills, I'd run screens all game until you fucking stop it. I would go, oh, you're gonna blitz me? Okay, come on. Boom, fucking screen pass to the running back. See ya, 25 yards, 30 yards. I mean,
yeah. Really, Dallas, we can talk about this. It's been all year that the offense has been up and down all year long. They're streaky
all year.
But you know what? Yeah. They've been streaky for years. Like even under Dayball, they were streaky.
Absolutely.
They would go quarters and halves and games without doing shit, and it would frustrate the hell out of us. They're a very streaky team.
That's why at the end of the season, when you look at the numbers,
we're always towards the top.
Yeah, and sometimes they're misleading. Like Ken Dorsey, when I'm like, hey, why are you guys all mad at Ken Dorsey? Ken Dorsey, top 5 offense, top 3 offense, second in scoring, but it wasn't consistent. It was just like all over the map, and you can't play that type of football. You got to be consistent in the NFL, and right now we're just not playing consistent on offense. It's I don't know what to say, Mikey.
Michael, from this, I think this is an overreaction. The Ravens are playing like a playoff team. The Bills are not. The Bills just have won games. That's what you do as playoff teams. Has that been pretty? No. Have the Ravens been blowing teams out? Yes. The Ravens look like the number 1 seed and the AFC favorites.
Absolutely.
That's what they look like.
Right now they do. Yep.
But I would put the Bills up against almost any team.
I would say
I would put the Bills up against the Ravens because McDermott has a way of containing that offense.
We play, I will say this about our team. I mean, we could say what we want. We could be down a little bit on the team, but this team, every game for the most part, or I think, as a matter of fact, this season, every team that we faced, we've been in every game. It doesn't matter what their record was. We've never been blown out. We don't look terrible. Like, at the end of the day, we may lose games, but we didn't look like, we were like, oh my God, the defense was so bad. We gave up 45 points today. We gave up, 50. The offense did 3 points today. Like, we're never that bad. We're in every game. But it's like I said, we go back to the consistency of this team. It's just not consistent enough. And right now, teams like we were talking about, the Ravens, the Browns are getting hot at the right time and being consistent in what they do offensively and defensively. I mean, look at Cleveland. You got a fucking Flacco coming off the couch, running the show, looking good, and their defense is executing as well. Turnovers. I mean, you name it. They're playing complementary football, like McDermott likes to say. And then you got like Baltimore, who's coming on in the right time, just playing really, really good football. They blew out the Dolphins today. They made them look like shit. I can promise you, next weekend's game is going to be close. I promise you. And Dolphins aren't going to get blown out by the Bills if we win. It's going to be a close game. I can't see us winning 48-20. Again, it's going to be a dogfight. Because man, it's tough for me now, Mikey, to even predict scores anymore. I have no idea what we're doing.
I mean, we said it was going to be. I said 30-16. You said
31-13.
Yep, and it was 27-21.
It's not.
Here's the day. At the end of the day, all I give a shit about is the W.
Yeah. No, I agree. But but I also didn't think the defense was going to get a touchdown. You know what I mean? Like I didn't take that in consideration. But I agree. At the end of the day, we were 6-6 like not too long ago, and now we have a chance to win the AFC East. Yeah, 10-6. We have the chance to win the AFC East and be the second seed going into the playoffs, which is unbelievable. So once again, we got to give credit where credit is due, and I will give that credit to Sean McDermott. I'll give that credit to the players for bouncing back when things look terrible. But that doesn't mean that I'm like totally satisfied with how the team's playing. You can't be you got to be realistic, and I hope that they understand this and they get their act together because the playoffs is right around the corner. That's all I'm saying. Yep. But I am happy with the dub. Of course I am.
The Browns are led by that defense. That defense is what
Absolutely. They're yeah, and and their offense is doing enough, man.
That offensive line isn't third string. The offensive line is elite. And say what you want about Ford and Hunt, they're not Chubb, but they're not far off of Chubb. Really where they're playing with their third string is quarterback.
Yeah.
And you give Flacco credit. The guy came in and steadied the ship.
Honestly,
he's playing better than Watson was playing their first string quarterback.
Absolutely. So. He's giving his players chances that Watson wasn't. He's throwing the ball to Njoku, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Njoku, and who was Cooper. Who was really a no. Well, they never went to him before he got in the before Flacco came in. Cooper's having his best games with Flacco. Man, that's craziness that a veteran old quarterback could be playing better than the guy that you gave $250 million guaranteed.
And you want to know what's even more crazy? He wanted to go back to the Jets, and the Jets told him no.
Yeah, that's wild. Jets are bad. Jets are, and they're keeping their GM and coach. It's just I would be so mad.
So is Chicago. Chicago's keeping their head coach too.
It's wild. Yeah, it's wild.
Spin comes and says at least McDermott used timeouts property. On 3rd and 1, we lined up in shotgun. He called the timeout. We went QB sneak.
That was smart.
You know what? I will have to say yes. You are right. He finally did use.
But I want to ask you something. I want to ask you something on that though. And I agree. I like the fact that McDermott called the timeout and changed it. But why wouldn't Allen audible out of that? And go underneath, go under center. Like, you can audible that and get under center and call a different play. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? He had plenty of time. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand, or why not call that play off?
I think they were always Brady they were always calling a timeout because at no point did they look like they were set to run.
Okay. They were just thinking about it, maybe.
Well, I think they were lined up to see what the defense was, and they were going to run it down, and then they were going to call timeout. I don't think at any point were they ever going to actually run that play.
I hope not. I do wish that Josh Allen would audible a little bit more.
For whatever reason, he doesn't.
He does not. He does not. He goes with the play that's called most 9 times out of 10.
The 2 plays. They call 2 plays. They have a run play and a pass play every one, and then he checks between the 2. I wish he would check out of certain things and call some of his own plays.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you're
because he does that 6, in the up tempo. Have you noticed we've had no up tempo in the last 3 weeks too?
Nothing. You're right. I even forgot about that. No up tempo offense, which I love. Up-tempo. We play our best football when we go up tempo. I noticed.
Josh Paul plays right. The line and goes.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
So
we got to get around.
I don't want to crap on him because we did get the W.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Anything else from the chat before we get out of here?
No. It looks like everyone's talking about the other games and stuff. Trigg says Rodgers runs that show at the Jets. Yeah, he really does. When do Joe's audible Kelly would? Yeah. It's a different offense. It's a different time. For whatever reason, Allen doesn't do that, and I don't know why. But Jim Kelly's also said he wishes he would, and Josh Allen just doesn't do it for whatever the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, he's never has, and I don't know if he just doesn't. He's not comfortable.
I don't know.
Doing it, but
I
think
that's the next evolution of Josh. I think is the guy who can call his own game at the line.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Because here's the deal. Because if Brady does do a really good job next year, chances are he's going to get head coaching offers. At some point we're going to have Josh Allen calling some of these plays and being more in charge of this offense, or we're going to have problems like we did with Dorsey if we don't get the right OC in here.
Right.
With McDermott as our head coach, a defensive guy, we're always going to be held hostage to the OC change.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Here's what I will tell you. It's a damn it, Bengals TD. Don't hang on every play today, guys. No matter what happens, will we clinch or we don't clinch, we have a chance to win the division next week.
It's in our own hands. Yeah, it's in our hands, man. It is what it is, man. At this point, we knew that when we talked about this 5 games, 4 games ago, right? That we needed to win out to get in. That's how we felt. I still feel that way. I feel like we needed to win these 5 in a row. I just feel like going into the playoffs on that note would be good at least. Beating the Dolphins. Winning the East again, getting the 2nd seed, there's a lot at stake there, and it's something that we can achieve. I mean, it's right there in front of us. So if they drop the ball, then that's on them. If they don't get the job done, that's on them. They know what's at stake.
Yep. Trek View come in and bring some positive. I love this. Congrats to Kincaid on his team record for the rookie reception record in Buffalo. That's awesome.
And Diggs, I think Diggs set a record, not a record, a Bills
the youngest,
record, right?
No, he's the NFL record. He's the youngest player
NFL record,
to get to 800 catches.
That's right, the youngest player ever. Right.
To get to 800 catches.
That's
granted, let's be honest. CD and Jefferson's going to beat him there.
Oh, absolutely.
When they get close, but
absolutely.
For now, it's him. And congratulations to Diggs for getting there so quickly. Josh tied Jalen Hurts for the single season QB touchdown record.
Yep. 15, I think he has.
Yep, 15 rushing touchdowns. So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. We got one more game next week, and it's for the division and the number 2 seed, and then we'll, listen, we're battle tested at this point. It's just survive in advance, guys. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just survive in advance.
Hey, guys, real quick, how do you like Mikey's new microphone? He got a new mic for Christmas.
I did.
Well, the first one didn't work out so well. Then he got another one that was a replacement. So today, Mikey's on his new dynamic microphone. So how do y'all think Mikey sounds now? I know some of y'all were saying he was a little low before. So just curious what you guys think before we get out of here. Mikey's new microphone.
Yeah, not only that, Triggs. I don't think he needs to go out to wide receiver 2 to be a boundary guy. I think he needs to be the number 2 option in the pass game. Look Diggs, look Shakir to be the number 2 read because he's open all the time. The dude can get separation, and he's the one guy who is getting separation. I almost think he needs to be option 1 at most of these reads.
Yeah.
Well, Daddy's going to Miami. Yeah, he did lose his TD pass streak today. He did. He had 2 rushing, no passing. It happens. It happens. What do y'all think about Sherfield if you didn't already talk about it? Sure. He's MIA. Sherfield's been a major problem this year.
Yeah, I think I was excited when we signed him. I honestly thought he'd have at least 400, 500 yards. He is so far from what I thought he would be. He's contributed to nothing, in my opinion, on this team. He's a waste of space. I don't know if it's Trent Sherfield or if it's a system. I'm almost thinking it's a system because I've seen way better from Trent Sherfield.
Yeah.
He just doesn't fit it. He just doesn't never caught on. I don't know what the deal is, but at this point, we need to get somebody else in there that can, at least contribute something. And if they can't, then who cares? Because it's not like Trent Sherfield's contributing anyway. So to me, you roll the dice. Stop being scared, of taking chances on players, that like an Isabella or a Shorter. Listen. 95% of the time he's not going to throw to them anyways, but maybe there will come a time where he needs to throw to them and they'll be open. It's like, I need something different out there than what I've been seeing. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And Mike comes in and says, what Buffalo's done with the new play caller and 14% chance to make the play a few weeks is remarkable. And you know what? We need to give them credit.
Absolutely.
We talked about it earlier. It's at the end of the day, we got to give them credit. I don't think they will take Sherfield off of the field because he's a special team guy, and they love the special team guys, even though our special team sucks.
Yeah, what's the difference? But I think Shorter can play special teams. He's played it in college.
Give the rookie a shot.
He's a 6'4". He's a big receiver. But everything that McDermott has said about him, though, when he said 2 weeks ago that he has been looking really good and. He gave him a lot of credit for a guy that may not play. Like, it just was odd that he would juice him up like that and then not even tinker with the idea of putting him on the 53. You know what I'm saying? Like, why even do that?
Who do you cut? Is the
Yeah, I know. I get it. I don't know.
It's the roster, flexibility that they don't have.
Maybe you cut somebody that you think you could re-sign to the practice squad that may not get picked. I don't know.
We did that with Infetti.
You really think Sherfield would get picked up? Just saying. And if he does, who really does it really matter? Just throwing that out there. He's a 1-year deal.
I don't think you do that right before the Miami game when they.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying. What's the What's it gonna hurt? Like okay, like really, no one's gonna be out there running to get Trent Sherfield. And if they do,
I bet
okay.
you Miami takes him. If we were to cut Sherfield this week, Miami would sign him.
I would say then congratulations, he's back in Miami. Okay, great. Maybe you can do something.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it. I'm glad that you can hear me. Okay. I'm not happy that the odds of winning the division is only 48% and not above 50%. Josh Holmes is gonna be crying. Yeah. All right, Tommy. I think we're good here. We'll be back Friday to talk about the Buffalo Miami game.
Yep.
And then we'll see what happens. Everything that we needed to happen happened for us to have a chance to win this division.
Absolutely. So, guys, we'll be back Friday at 8:30 for Friday Night Lights. Other than that, man, we'll talk to you Friday. So, Bills Mafia, we love you. And as always, go Bills. We're out of here.
Go Bills.
Peace out.
Enjoy your Victory Monday.
Absolutely.